Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am working on Project Life Week 51 for my 2021 album. Almost there, almost there. For Christmas, my lovely friend Alice sent me the Reaching Out project pad from Jen Hadfield, and it was kind of sitting on my desk, so I figured now's the perfect time to use it. I'm going to use it for week 51. This is going to be one of those weeks where I'm not going to add any journaling in here. I'm just going to kind of make a decorative week. There is a cut apart sheet in the project pad that has 3x4 sort of cards in it, which was perfect. So I did pick out the staying in is the new going out. This is the week that covered like Christmas Day. And that's exactly what we did. We stayed in. We had Christmas Day at home. So that kind of I felt like that kind of covered my journaling. I'm using that with really big air quotes for Christmas Day, which kind of like half of this page is about. So there's a lot of Christmas Day in here. There wasn't a whole lot else that went on with the rest of the week. And so the photos are kind of a little bit, they're not particularly colorful. All of the kind of, I guess, colorful Christmassy sort of photos end up in my December daily album rather than in my Project Life. So these ones are all a little bit more, I mean, I'm loath to say neutral. They're not really neutral. They're just not particularly colourful. So I'm going to add a little bit more colour in here using some of these pattern papers. I really loved the kind of burnt orangey red that's in this collection, but I also didn't want to add too much in here. I didn't want it to kind of take over. I'm not going to use any of the patterns. I was really tempted to because there's a couple of really cute ones. There's a polka dot and a little heart. But in the end, I kind of stuck with these softer colors. There's a little soft pink, a little bit of kind of ochre and some blue, because that bottom photo there to me, although it's not really blue, I mean, it's sand on a beach. It's definitely not blue. The cast of the photo was a little bit bluer. And so I added that blue, what do you call it, like a gingham kind of pattern, just to play off that blue a little bit, because it was really the only kind of dominant color in those photos. There is a tiny touch of like green and red in my cookie photo, so I'm just going to kind of play off that with more kind of softer colors with little pops in there. So I kind of spread out my colors. The blue gingham was way too much as like a title card. That was a lot of blue for the spread, so I swapped that out with the softer pink. And I spent a lot of time like fussy cutting that little heart from, it's a pattern paper, there's a heart pattern paper. And then I open the project pad and pull out the sticker sheet and immediately notice that there's the exact same like icon as a sticker, so I would have needed to do zero fussy cutting, but I'm just gonna ignore that for now. There are a few kind of like little tiny word stickers on here, and I'm sort of adapting them for the photo, I guess. They're not really designed for this particular purpose. None of it is. So I'm sort of repurposing some of these sentiments for the picture of me making my pavlova. I don't make a pavlova very often. I was a little bit nervous that it would fail. We didn't have a backup dessert for Christmas, but it worked perfectly. So I added all this kind of like hooray, yay kind of sentiments on there. And that little sticker there too was so cute. I can't help but smile when we took Lil to the beach on Boxing Day. Now, this week I added a couple of Instax photos to sort of cover a little bit of Christmas Day as well. So I'm adding them onto that pattern paper. I do add adhesive, like tape runner adhesive, but with Instax photos, I always add something a little bit more permanent, like a paper clip, or more often than not staples like this from the tiny attacher. I have found that over the years, the adhesive that's behind an Instax can tend to kind of disintegrate a little bit. So although I do use it just to kind of keep things stuck down to start off with, I do always add that kind of staple in there as well, just to make sure that nothing's going to like fall out of a pocket anywhere over the years. Now, I wasn't really sure what to do with my other little photoed card there on the blue gingham. I know I wanted to keep adding a few little pops of red, so I had added the red tiny sticker onto the pavlova photo. I decided that down here on my Christmas Day Instaxes, I've added a sticker that says celebrate, kind of to tie in the gold foil that's on that 3x4 card, but also because it's Christmas, I mean, no better photo that, right? But I also added a tiny little floral, kind of tucked it underneath the Instax just to add a little bit of interest, but again add a little bit of that pop of color. So here's where I rediscover the sticker, and I was like, darn. I did all that for nothing. I'm going to use the one that I fussy cut, and I'll save that sticker for another day. But my point was that the other little red piece that I added in, there was a little heart sticker. So I did pop that onto the 3x4 card just to give it a little bit of decoration. Now there's no alphas of any type in this project pad, so I just grabbed some out of my stash. I have used a couple of little bits of gold, that gold 3x4 card, and there's a gold foiled sticker. So I'm going to add some gold alphas just to kind of tie that all in so that it works. I had what I was thinking was this genius idea that I would split the word week around that heart. That was kind of my idea, with the heart in the middle of the card and then splitting the title over the other side of it, and having the week number in the middle. And whilst I've executed my idea and it's kind of what I thought it was going to be, it's just not quite what I imagined, and so I'm not redoing the card, but just to let you know, I'm a bit meh about it. What do you think? I mean, it's kind of, I kind of had executed the idea how I thought it was going to. It just didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to. And I'm sure we all have times like that. But this close to the end of this album, I'm definitely not redoing anything. So to make this all work, I added my alphas onto that ruler guide using that little cut apart die cut kind of piece, and I just wanted to make sure I was adding that heart into the middle of the card. But when I placed my alphas onto my little ruler guide here, I made sure that that heart fit in the middle of them, which, as you'll see, makes no difference in the end anyway. I am going to add a label. This is just one of those digital labels. I just print and cut a whole jar full of them so that they're there when I need them. And I am going to date stamp. It's a little bit of a smaller label, so I have to be a bit careful. I just used a bit of scrap paper to make sure that I'm not accidentally stamping onto the pattern paper in the background there. I can add my little heart, and then I'm going to add in my week number into the middle. Now, they look gold. They are a different alpha, though. They're a little bit slightly bigger. I wanted something that was a little bit different than the alpha that I used for the word week, but I'm just not sure that it's quite different enough. Like, it might have been different. It might have been a little bit better if maybe that was not a gold foiled alpha. Maybe if it was something a little bit brighter, so maybe like a white or something that stands out a little bit more. In the end, I moved the word in a little bit, so I shifted all of those letters in, and it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm moving on so that I can get this album done rather than obsessing over like tiny little details. Now, effectively, I've got kind of two cards that I want something to do to them. This one here, the photo had a little bit of blank space up in the top right-hand corner, and there was this kind of page flag sticker. I thought that was perfect to just fill in that space a little bit. But despite it being coloured and the background being grey, it just did not stand out very well. So I just stuck that onto a little bit of scrap card from the heart that I cut out. And it just helps it kind of pop up a little bit, so you can definitely see that it's there. And then I'm coming back to my little square photo. I still really didn't know what I was going to put. There was a sentiment on one of these 3x4 cards that I kind of really loved, but it took up too much room. It took up far too much room. So in the end, I'm only going to use half of it. I just kept the other half of the sentiment. I can use that another day, but I am trimming it out, and I'm going to use the more like the tiny word stickers that I added onto the pavlova photo. So I can't quite remember the entire quote just at the minute as I'm doing this voiceover, but it's kind of like in two parts, and so the second part of it works on its own as well. So I'm just going to keep that, add that to my scrapbox, and I'll be able to reuse that card, or at least the sentiments of it later on. These two pieces though, I'm going to kind of offset them a little bit to just fill up that space and echo those tiny word stickers just a little bit. And then that is this spread all done. I'm so close to the end, so you'll forgive me if these videos get quicker and quicker. I'm rushing through to get this album done because I want to call 2021 finished. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye!